Yes guys, I decided to make a $700 investment towards this miner, and hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Olive Kirote and this is Olive Kirote rebranded. So guys, welcome back. As you guys have read from the title of this video, yes guys, I decided to make a $700 investment to this miner. And in this video and all the forthcoming videos that are about to come up, stay tuned for this series, stay tuned for this video, stay tuned for this entire playlist that will be coming out, because I want to share with you guys my journey, how this $700 investment might be a good investment, or it could also potentially not be a good investment. Story time. Last year, back in 2021, we were in a very good bull market. The markets were doing so well and it was green. Because of the rush and the energies that were in the space, I was also researching a lot, trying to understand different concepts, different ways of making money, and I stumbled upon mining. If you are an avid follower of ONR, especially on Instagram, I actually have had a mining class. We own a miner with my partner. We had a masterclass for that miner. Long story, but if you followed me on Instagram, you already know the tea. You already know all the miners. You already know what I've been mining. You already know how we've been making passive income using mining. In the month of September 2021, I made the conscious decision to purchase a miner. So backstory might be, my partner also has this miner. He had ordered it a few months prior, so I proceeded to look for money as well to invest in this said miner. If you're not aware, there are different ways you can make money in this space. ONR actually teaches one of the most common and easiest ways of making money in crypto, which is hodling. Okay, hodling for capital gains. I have shared videos on this channel that can help you understand how you can buy and hold certain projects and coins for a potential upside. If you'd like to be a really good investor, I actually have classes. So most of you are like, Oli, why do you have crypto classes? This is why, guys. I have made good money being a hodler, and I have shared all the tips, all the strategies, and an introduction to this world on the ONR classes. And if you are looking to learn about crypto from someone who has actually dabbled in it for quite a while now, you can sign up to our classes on our website www.onrafrica.com. And because of you watching this video, and this is a coupon code that I'm going to give to you because you've watched this video, go and click welcome to ONR 10. So go put that on the coupon, please. welcome to ONR 10, and you're gonna get a 10% discount on your first purchase on ONR. So guys, if you're really looking to learn about crypto, we have classes from beginner, intermediate, Binance, expert. Literally you would be set up for success. Okay, so I learned there are different ways of making money in the crypto space, and mining was one of the ways. We have researched and read and bought a miner or two, and I decided to also make the conscious decision to purchase this miner myself on September 2021. Right, so I purchased this miner. Before I go into details of what the miner is about, I want to first give you guys a breakdown of what exactly mining is, because this is a new concept that I've brought to the channel, and I honestly do feel like I have the responsibility to educate you before I give you a whole story. Okay, so what is mining? Mining is the process of creating a block added to the blockchain by solving computational mathematical problems. As you may know, the first ever crypto project to have come alive was Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been built on top of this blockchain, right? And blockchain, as the name suggests, blockchain, it's essentially a chain of blocks, right? So you can imagine a whole chain that has different sectors, different blocks. And what basically this chain is, it's a ledger. So the way you would go to Excel and have like put data in A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. A1 is a block, A2 is a block, A3 is a block, A5 is a block, and combined they form a chain, and that is what blockchain is, right? So BTC is built on a blockchain. So a blockchain is essentially a shared database. It's like a ledger. So those blocks of data comprise of maybe transactions that happen in the BTC blockchain, you know, who did you send money to? All that data is stored on Bitcoin's blockchain. Mining is now the process of creating a block that is added onto the blockchain. So what happens with Bitcoin, right? For example, let me give Bitcoin because it's the largest and the first project to ever be of existence in this space. These transactions that are being solved on the blockchain network, who exactly is solving them, right? Who exactly solving them? The answer is a miner. So a miner is generally actually a computer, right? A computer or a hardware of some sort that does computational math problems, and once it solves the problem, it is able to add a block onto the chain. So for example, Olive has transferred to John 10 BTC. There's a miner, there's a computer somewhere that is trying to solve the mathematical computation of that data. Why is it mathematical? Because BTC is digital currency that exists online. So there are obviously codes and numbers that it has to solve to fulfill my transaction on the blockchain. Once it fulfills my transaction on the blockchain, my transaction becomes a block of data that is added to the chain. The miner, which is the computer, does get a reward for facilitating that process. So guys, do you get what mining is? I hope you get what mining is. So basically that's what a miner is. A miner is actually a computer, but it sounds like it's a person, but it's a person who owns the computer, okay? So once you assist the blockchain in solving these transactions and adding blocks to the blockchain, what happens is now you're rewarded by the blockchain. So BTC has a maximum number of 21 million Bitcoins. So how they actually introduce these coins into the space is by rewarding the miners. That whole solving the mathematical computation is known as proof of work. So when you enter in the mining space, you're going to learn that there are different ways that you can fulfill a transaction on a blockchain. There are some that do proof of work like BTC and Ethereum. There are some that do proof of stake, right? That's a different way of solving, you know, transactions on the blockchain. There's some that do proof of coverage, which I'm about to talk about with helium. So basically different blockchains have different ways and mechanisms that they solve transactions or fulfill data on their blockchain, and anyone who does that successfully is rewarded. So I hope that makes sense. Most of the time when I tell people I want to enter into mining, the first thing is,
Olive, isn't mining expensive?
Yes, it is. If you're trying to mine BTC, which is like We've currently mined 18 million tokens. Guys, the saturation point of mining BTC is 21 million. So anyone who maybe started when BTC had just like mined, like let's say 1 million tokens, mining was really very profitable. But then right now, as we're getting closer to the saturation point of the coin, it's pretty expensive. Also, you can look at the fact that the value of BTC is like a lot of money right now, thousands and thousands of dollars. So it might not be as profitable to mine the big, popular coins. However, there are people who still do, and most of them are people who've done this for years, so they're really good at their game. As new projects come into the space, like I told you guys, they're finding easier and more cheaper ways to fulfill transactions on their particular blockchains. Because if you look at Bitcoin, it's using a proof of work mechanism, which really involves heavy mathematical problems, which keep getting harder and harder. I assume you're using a lot of electricity on the mining rigs. It is expensive in terms of setting it up. So a lot of blockchains are like, okay, if I want to be part of this crypto space, ain't no way I'm going to do proof of work. It's expensive. And that's why proof of stake came about. So guys, I realized I explained proof of work in the video and then I did not talk about proof of stake, and let me just tell you what it is. So proof of stake is the new way of validating transactions on the blockchain, and it is more sustainable and more eco-friendly, and that's why Ethereum is jumping ship from proof of work to proof of stake. Okay, the proof of stake is free from buying miners, buying crypto hardwares and rigs and all that jazz. What you do is you apply to be a validator. So a validator is someone who is chosen to validate transactions based on their stake on that particular blockchain, based on how much you have invested in the project. However, proof of stake has graduated to even proof of delegated stake, or is it delegated stake? But I will not go into that. However, you can check it up and see how they're progressively working on finding better ways of doing the proof of stake mechanism. So advantages of proof of stake: you don't need expensive hardware. All you need is money upfront to apply to be a validator. Validators are rewarded based on the transaction fees they've just fulfilled. So basically, based on the block you've added on the chain, the transaction fees of that is what you get rewarded. And you could probably wondering, okay, how are they doing all these things? It's smart contracts. Like I told you guys, smart contracts are smart. It's just putting a code that just says if this is done, this happens. They all don't follow the same set of rules. Like I said here at the beginning, they all don't follow the same set of rules, but the concept of validation is the same. This is because all these other ones, Dots, Cardano, like there's so many, they have their own way of doing proof of stake. So every project or every blockchain has its own like twist or how to make it better, or some suggest they choose it at random. It gets deeper and deeper, but this is just basics. There's a very interesting image here, and you can see it just shows you like the differences between proof of work and proof of stake. And you can see the proof of stake, you mine in quotes depending on how many coins you hold. So it's not really mining like I told you guys. The POS system makes any 51% attack more expensive. Yes, because for you to actually be able to do a 51% attack, that means you own 51% of that coin, and that is ideally impossible. The POS system is more decentralized but must work hard to build communities around their coins. Yes, this is true. You have to, if you realize, most of the staking projects really have very huge communities, because you're ideally telling people, please invest in our project, be a staker, and we'll reward you transaction fees. So as compared to POW systems where it's a hardware doing all that jazz. And that's why I believe Ethereum has entered this space. And if you read about the merge, I'm going to link it down below. You can see it's the Ethereum mainnet will merge with the Beacon chain proof of stake system. This will mark the end of proof of work for Ethereum. So yeah, it's fully transitioning to proof of stake, and you can basically see that it'll reduce Ethereum's energy consumption by 99.95%. And this is one of the reasons why BTC and ETH used to get a lot of slack, oh, you guys are consuming electricity like Switzerland, like that's a whole country, blah blah blah. So I guess Ethereum is just like, we need to jump ship, also because they're able to scale. Ethereum has over 2,000 800 dApps built on top of it, and proof of work is really limiting. But now with proof of stake, they will be able to scale pretty easily, pretty well. So I'll link this the merge info down below. If you're interested, definitely check them out. So there's something now that's sprung into the space called plug and play miners. So ideally, from what I've learned, plug and play miners are basically miners that do fulfill transactions, a particular transaction on a particular blockchain, and you are rewarded with the blockchain's token, but the data you're maybe fulfilling or whatever you're doing doesn't really involve heavy mining rings or heavy setups or a lot of electricity and all that, right? So these are just solutions that are coming up from other companies that are trying to be part of the space. So this is now the part I'm going to introduce Helium and just share with you what they're doing, how they're going about it. And I mean, guys, if you are interested to learn the continuation of this, please guys, stay tuned for this series. It's about to be an interesting series because I want to share with you guys everything that I've experienced, everything that I've learned. I want to meet you in the second video where we're going to talk about Helium. What is Helium? What are they doing? Why did I even risk $700 to invest in their plug and play miner? And the not so good and good things that I've so far learned about this space. Stay tuned as well because we will be unboxing the miner live on the video. And I mean, guys, it's about to be a fun ride, so keep watching. Otherwise, I love you guys and I want to remind you guys to start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can. Bye.